Hey everybody, how y'all doing? This is your boy Jim Austin from Jim Austin Online. It's what day is this? Thursday. It's a good day to be in Fort Worth. We're always excited being in Fort Worth. I thank you for enjoying Jim Austin Online. We've created a new podcast recording studio, and we're up here in the historic stockyards on 21st and Main. You ever want to stop by, have a cup of coffee, or you want to do your own podcast, check us out. My show talks about commercial real estate. Also let you know what's going on in North Texas. And I talk to interesting people to find out what they're doing. Movers and shakers, we call them. And today I'm excited to have a very special person on my show. She's my daughter, Dr. Tara Reed, Doctor. So welcome, Dr. Reed. It's good to see you on the Austin File podcast.
Thank you for having me. I'm so excited.
Oh, it's good. You're making things happen in the world and very involved in the community. And we're going to talk a little bit about your two Zoom meetings that you did with a phenomenal panel, about racial injustice and about the importance of voting. And but we're going to go a little deep into your background, where you went to high school. I know you got a couple degrees, 2, 3, 4 degrees, because everybody knows Dr. Reed, and you're president of your sorority. So why don't you go ahead and start and let us know where you went to high school and maybe some of the things you did, because you played basketball in high school. So we go deep, but I'm gonna let you go ahead and jump in there because Dr. Reed is a professor at Tarrant County College. She teaches speech to the young folks and the do's and don'ts. So go ahead and let us have it, Dr. Reed.
Awesome. Well, I am a proud graduate of Everman High School. Go Bulldogs. And I went through all of the Everman ISD, so elementary, junior high, and high school. I was a basketball player at Everman, and I actually won, no one's going to believe this, most athletic of the year, my senior year. But one thing that I'm most proud of is I am one of the few Black women that are drum majors at Everman High School. And so I was a drum major my senior year, and a lot of people don't know that. So that's a bit of tidbit, background about me that may be new for some people, and some people are going to go, that's right. If you go into the hallways of Everman and you look at the band, you'll see me. I'm still up there on the wall.
What year did you come out of high school?
See, now we're really going deep. Okay, so I
just want to make sure you remember.
I remember it. So I am a proud member of the class of 1992.
Okay. And then what happened after that? It looked like you didn't get drafted to go play basketball.
No, I am 5'7", so I thought I was going to go play basketball, but that height challenge is a little bit different after you come from a 4A school and try to go play at a university and you realize 5'7" is a point guard, but in high school you were the center. So there's no way that I could have made magic on the court at my college. But I did go to Baylor University when I graduated from Everman, and I actually was going to go to Texas Wesleyan University, and Baylor called 2 weeks before school started, and I had an opportunity to be a Baylor Bear, and I took it. Sorry, Texas Wesleyan, but I wanted to, get a little bit away from Fort Worth, only about an hour out of Fort Worth, but it gave me an opportunity to learn some things that I got to bring back, to Fort Worth, because I did come back to Fort Worth. But while at Baylor, I tried out for the basketball team. See, you didn't. Didn't do well. I still had dreams.
They let you know, huh?
they let me know really quickly that it was not going to happen. So I focused in on my education, and I actually chartered Sigma Gamma Rho at Baylor while I was there. So I just went into a different direction, started working in TV and radio there. So I I found my place, and it wasn't on the court, which was okay, but I
Okay.
found my place while I was in Waco.
Well, getting your college degree, and I brag all the time that all five of my children have their college degrees. And it was truly a blessing that my mom and dad, they had their college degrees. And then me, my brother and sister, we have our college degree. So education is so, so important for our young kids and anybody that's trying to achieve anything is go ahead and get that education to be prepared to move on. So I remember the proud day I was there when you graduated from college. And then you went on and you started doing some more education. So I just, me, 1 degree, my master's and PhD is my broker's license. So, I know you got a lot going on, and we're going to break it down so that if people didn't know, they're going to know because they've seen it on the Austin File, Jim Austin Online, my new podcast, which I'm excited about it. My team got me on split screen today, and we looking good. Got my wall back here showing my colors. Got my kappa going on. So go ahead and tell us about the other degrees that you have, because everybody knows Dr. Reed is the doctor in the house.
Hey, so I got it from you. So the first degree is a business degree, and it's in marketing, just like you, and as
Okay.
well as human resources management with a minor in broadcasting management. So my first degree, I was able to really start to understand the life of marketing. So creating party flyers, understanding how to create business plans, how to make sure that I was seen, because I was just starting as, Sigma Gamma Rho on campus. So we had to do a lot of the lead work. So I used a lot of our experiences that we had together, because remember, we were doing concerts back then as well,
Right.
right?
Hey,
So
40 years.
all of my projects at Baylor were somehow your projects back home.
That's right. You used to do my flyers at the very beginning. So yeah.
I did. So I knew from then I was in the right place at the right time to get that background. But you taught me so much more about being an entrepreneur and not just resting in one area. So I decided to stay at Baylor to get a master's in communications, or master's of arts in communication. And I knew that that would allow me to have a broader view of how I could be successful, not only in marketing, but also in radio and TV, which was, I was volunteering and I was doing some community service, and I also was student working. I did a lot of work while I was at Baylor. I worked for the PBS station on campus, and then I came home and worked for the PBS station here in Fort Worth, KERA. And I also worked for V100. I don't know if you remember
I
whole era.
remember. Tara, I remember because you got us front row seats for Prince. We were front row for the man, Prince, me and your mom. So yeah, I remember that hookup because my deal is the hookup. It's just knowing the right people and getting hooked up and knowing what to do when you get there. So you
Exactly.
totally took advantage of being a entrepreneur and honing your skills to also be a educator, but also an entrepreneur. So as we go through this, a lot of folks say, damn, I didn't know that about Dr. Reed, that she was doing all of that. So yeah, let's keep it going so that your fan base, my fan base, they'll know. So
Yeah. So while I was working on my master's degree, I took a break and came home and to Fort Worth. And I think that was the time where I remember we moved everything, and you were like, okay, are you sure that you're coming home this time? Because we've already come down for graduation. We've come down for a couple of things, and you stayed. And this time I knew I was ready to come home, but I still was working on my education. So I actually drove back and forth from Fort Worth to Baylor to finish my master's degree.
Mm-hmm.
Wow. I don't know if you remember this part, we started working on real estate. So a lot of people don't know that I have my real estate broker's license now, but at that time, I was just getting my license, and I was working with you doing that as well. So
Yeah.
here I am working with marketing with you. We were doing radio and concerts. We were doing real estate together. We were doing a lot.
Doing a lot, always doing a lot. Well, I'm so proud of you, having your broker's license, because, one of the hardest things being a real estate broker is make sure you keep your license. And, I went on to get on the Texas Real Estate Commission, did that for 8 years, and you got to keep your act right when you're doing that stuff.
You do, but you gave me a viewpoint that I would not have had if you weren't my dad, that I could try and do whatever it is that I wanted to do. And I really appreciate that, because I was never fearful to ask. And if you don't ask, you don't know if you're going to get it, right? So I just always ask, how can I get more education, or how can I get certified, or how can I work on this project? And, there were times where I was turned down, but for the most part, just because I asked, I was placed in the situation where I got a chance. And so I think from there, people started wondering, how do you have a business degree, then you have a master's of arts in communication, now you want to go get a PhD in master's of arts in communication, and then get a PhD in education. And why did I select to do 3 different areas? Because a lot of people don't realize, when you do 3 different focuses in your studies, you really are starting over every time, because you can't really take a lot of the background that you have from one degree and place it over into the other degree. So by the time I got to working on my PhD, I started working for Tarrant County College, and I've been there. Will be my 18th year.
Whoa,
so it's been a while.
18 years.
18th year.
18 years having the same job for the same company, making it happen. And I'm sure that as a lot of times I've given you prizes to give to your students, and, let them know about what we're doing. So educating our kids, very, very, very important. So proud of you for that. And where you're at right now, being the president of the Panhellenic Council. Let's talk about that a little bit, the Pan, and the president of your sorority too.
Right. So for Sigma Gamma Rho, I am the current president of the Alpha Pi Sigma chapter in Fort Worth, Texas. And we reactivated the chapter in July of 2014. And the chapter was actually established in March of 1945. So it is a chapter that has been very influential in Fort Worth for a very long time. There was a period where it was dormant, and that just means that no one was in the chapter to keep it alive. So I had an opportunity to transfer from the Dallas chapter over back into the Fort Worth chapter, and I took it, and I love it. I love what we're doing for the community. I love being able to lead a chapter of women that are serving in a variety of different areas, whether it's our focus of education, focus of service, focus of sisterhood. You're able to see us in different areas. Right now, voter registration is our big thing, and so we're making some moves. And being a member of Sigma Gamma Rho also gave me an opportunity to be a part of the NPAC, which is the National Panhellenic Council. And Tarrant County is our local branch. And I asked about a couple of years ago to be a rep. And what a rep does is they just basically go in and represent their chapter, and whatever programs or whatever community service or even parties that we have going on, we're just taking that information back to our chapters. And I saw a need, and I saw an area where I could fulfill, and I decided to step up and try, as only Jim Austin's daughter would do, to become the president of the NPAC, and this is actually my third year of being the president of the National Panhellenic Council of Tarrant County. And I'm super proud of what we've accomplished over these years and what we still yet to have accomplished that will be beyond my legacy. And so right now our focus has been Rock the Vote. We are definitely looking into making sure that we make an impact in our communities. We know COVID is happening, and so some of the things that we've had to change means that we can't always be in person. We have to be safe. So you may see us wearing our masks, those chapters that are able to go out in the community, but those of us that can't, and you mentioned this earlier, we're able to do more virtual parts of our leadership or our influence. And so we've been doing a lot of webinars, we've been doing a lot of videos, we've been doing a lot of promotion social media wise that will hopefully be trending and hopefully be shared so other people can learn about how voting is so super important right now, as well as the census. So I don't want to forget that, because it's so important that you are filling out your census application. The deadline is coming up very soon, so we wanted to make sure everybody is being accounted for.
Yeah, voting is very important, and David Whiteman and myself, we talked about it. You know, I've been around quite a bit, and it's a shame that, you know, people that don't go out and vote. It's a shame, and it's so simple to wear your mask, you know, and the experts say if everybody wore their mask, we could kick this thing in the butt. So I'm proud of you and your initiative of letting people know to go out and vote, being the president of a sorority, the Panhellenic Council, and all the other things you do. You know, you and I have a lot in common. We love your mom to death. You know, she is just a blessing to me, and she allows me to be me, and she allows you to be you. And I'm glad we had time to chop it up on my podcast. I mean, our little 20-minute window just went so fast, and they're sticking up the time capsule to me. I want to make sure that everybody knows how to reach you if you want to give your contact information, because you're always doing things, and that's so exciting to me, because it makes a beautiful thing to talk about around the dining room table. And as Blue said, a podcast is just what you're doing, having a conversation around the dining room table. So share with people how they can reach you, and just any advice you might have for the young folks moving in this pandemic environment, you know. Okay.
Right. So far as reaching me as the president of the National Panhellenic Council of Tarrant County, you can visit our website at www.mphctarrant.org. And for as contacting us through Sigma Gamma Rho, you can visit us at fwsgro.org, and we're both on social media, so at fwsgro.org, fwsgro, as well as MPHC Tarrant. That's a lot to remember, by the way.
That is a lot.
There. But as far as me, I am looking forward to being able to launch my website, and it'll be drtarareed.com. And right now you can find me on social media at Dr. Tara Reed. And I want to leave with this word of advice for all of our young people that are out there right now. Stay encouraged and stay motivated. There's so much that you can do right now with the time that you have. Believe it or not, this pandemic is going to pass. And when it passes, you should come out of it better than you went into it. So if that means taking some time to find out how you can get certifications online, how you can complete a project that you were currently working on going into the pandemic, you want to do that right now, because once this is over, it's going to be back to fast pace. And if you didn't accomplish what you wanted to during the pandemic, it's going to be double hard to accomplish it afterwards. So take this time, be positive, stay safe, stay prayed up, and stay very connected to your inner being and how you feel as well. So if you're feeling blue, if you're feeling sad, reach out to someone to let them know, because your voice and your soul matters to us.
Good advice. You heard it from Dr. Tara Reed, my daughter. And it's been beautiful to chop it up with you and go back and reflect on some of the things and, the marketing and all we've had a lot of fun. We really have had a lot of fun and we have a lot to be thankful for. Thank you for joining me today. This is the Austin File. You can catch it on Jim Austin Online. And Dr. Reed's going to blow my stuff up because she's in social media. So we're going to push it even further. So people are listening from all over the world. And thank you for joining me today. And I'll see you at home soon.